All right, so today we're diving into something pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a connection I honestly never really thought about before. We're talking about the Book of Revelation,
Right.
but specifically looking at like how ancient Egyptian culture may have had an influence on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and full disclosure, when I first saw the research for this episode,
Yeah.
I was like, hold on a sec. Egypt,
Yeah, no, I get it.
Revelation.
Yeah.
I don't see the connection.
I mean, on the surface,
Yeah.
I think there's connected.
And then you start digging in, you're like,
Yeah.
oh wow, there's some interesting stuff going on here.
There's something there.
Yeah, so I've got an expert with me today
Of course.
who can shed some light on all this.
Happy to be here.
So for everyone listening, if you've ever been like totally captivated by the imagery in Revelation,
Oh, yeah.
those wild visions and symbols,
Absolutely.
get ready because we're about to uncover a whole new layer of meaning.
Really looking forward to this.
Okay, so one of the first things that jumped out at me was how both Revelation and ancient Egyptian texts,
Mm-hmm.
like that famous Book of the Dead, right?
Yes.
They both talk about this journey through the afterlife.
Right.
They have this whole idea of the soul being judged, which,
Big theme. Right.
I mean, come on, that's something people have been thinking about.
It's a universal thing, I think.
Totally. So, is it like the same kind of judgment in both traditions?
Well, there are definitely some key differences.
Oh,
In Egyptian belief, it was all about the heart.
literally the heart.
Yep, they believed the heart was weighed against a feather.
A feather.
Yeah, a feather that represented truth and justice.
Wow, okay.
So if your heart was heavier, weighed down by bad deeds,
Oh no.
you were in trouble, faced potential destruction.
And then,
Whereas in Revelation, it's less about like a literal weighing.
right.
It's more about aligning with God's will, that divine order.
Okay, yeah, so it's like, are you on the right path or not?
Exactly.
Fascinating. So even though judgment is a big theme in both,
Mm-hmm.
the like core values behind it are pretty different.
Yeah,
That's something I hadn't really picked up on before.
it's a subtle but important distinction.
Absolutely. Okay, another thing that like grabbed my attention
Yeah,
was the whole serpent imagery.
right.
I mean, Revelation has that terrifying dragon.
Of course, Satan,
Yeah, Satan, who's like all about chaos and opposing God.
classic archetype.
Totally. And the Egyptians had something similar, didn't they?
They did indeed.
I can't remember the name.
Apophis.
Right.
Yep, a massive serpent, like the embodiment of chaos.
Oh, wow.
And he's locked in this eternal struggle with Ra, the sun god.
So it's like good versus evil, light versus darkness, all that.
Exactly. And it's such a powerful image, right?
Yeah.
This like primordial serpent trying to mess up the whole cosmos.
Yeah. It makes you wonder why serpents, like, why are they so scary across cultures?
Right. I mean, you see it everywhere, not just Egypt.
Must be something deep in our psyches about
I see. Yeah.
this primal fear of, like, the unknown and stuff that could just wreck everything.
Forces that threaten order.
Yeah, so cool how these ancient stories really tap into that, you know?
They definitely resonate across time.
Okay, so, you know, I'm a visual person,
Mm-hmm.
and those scenes in Revelation, like the divine beings on thrones surrounded by worshippers,
So vivid.
super vivid. I instantly thought of Egyptian temples, those grand depictions of the gods.
Absolutely.
It felt like visually there's a connection there.
Oh, definitely. The parallels are striking.
Right, and it's not just the images themselves.
There's a deeper layer.
Yeah, what else is going on there?
Both Revelation and Egyptian religion, they emphasize divine power.
Okay,
Authority radiating out from the central figure.
makes sense, right? Like they're trying to show this cosmic hierarchy.
Exactly. And the importance of proper worship.
Oh, interesting. Like who's at the top and who's below.
Right. And where you fit in.
Right, so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so talking about structure, there's this scholar.
Okay.
His name's John H.C. Pippi,
Okay.
and he's got this theory that really blew my mind.
Right. What's that?
He thinks that the way Revelation unfolds,
Mm-hmm.
it might actually mirror the structure of Egyptian tomb paintings.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah,
Mm.
specifically, he's looking at those in Ramesses the Sixth tomb.
Ramesses VI. Okay.
Yeah, so can you like break down this theory a little?
Sure. So in Ramesses VI's tomb,
Mm-hmm.
they've got these paintings that depict the sun god Ra's journey over the underworld.
Underworld journey makes sense.
Right. And it's divided into 12 sections.
12 sections, interesting.
Yeah, representing the hours of the night.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And Pippi's argument is that Revelation's narrative, with all its judgments and, big events,
Yeah, it's had a lot going on.
it could be following a similar structure.
into like its own journey
Right, a journey through these spiritual realms.
towards some final revelation.
Exactly.
Wow, so the structure itself can be packed with meaning.
It's like a blueprint for a spiritual journey.
Right, it's not just random.
There's a logic to it.
Oh, that's super cool. Okay, now I gotta ask about some of the specific characters and symbols.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Revelation is full of these like terrifying beasts, right?
Right.
Often seen as agents of evil.
Mm.
Could they be connected to like figures from Egyptian mythology?
That's a good question.
Like I'm thinking of Set, the god of chaos.
Oh, yes.
Or even like multi-headed Apophis again.
Right, good point.
Is there any link there?
It's definitely possible, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Set was known for messing with the cosmic order and, all that violence and chaos.
Sounds familiar.
It does kind of resonate with how those beasts are portrayed.
Apophis, I mean, come on. Multiple heads, serpent form.
Yeah, that visual is strong.
Totally matches up with that beast rising from the sea, right?
Yeah, there are definitely some visual similarities.
Makes you think. Okay, then there's that image of the lake of fire.
Oh, yeah, that's a scary one.
Terrifying. Where everyone who worships the beast ends up.
Right.
And it reminded me of the Duat,
Okay, yeah,
which, just so everyone knows, that's the ancient Egyptian underworld.
right.
And in the Duat, there were these fiery pits where unworthy souls got destroyed.
It was not a good place to be.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
So another, like, chilling parallel.
For sure, and both traditions use fire in a similar way.
How so?
It's like this symbol of purification,
Okay.
but also like total destruction.
Powerful image.
Yeah, it taps into that primal fear, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Annihilation, the consequences of being judged unworthy.
Heavy stuff. But it really makes you think of how these cultures,
Mm-hmm.
they were wrestling with these big ideas,
Absolutely, good and evil,
punishment, reward.
all of that.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just about the afterlife, was it?
No, not at all.
There's like broader connections too, right?
Yeah, when you look at Revelation's focus on end times, judgment, creating a new heaven and new earth,
Take stuff.
it has these intriguing parallels with Egyptian beliefs about,
The beliefs.
well, things like death and resurrection,
Okay.
and this cyclical view of renewal.
Oh, interesting. So like endings and beginnings.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Which I guess makes sense when you think about where Revelation came from.
Right.
Hellenistic Alexandria. It's
Exactly.
like a melting pot of cultures.
A major hub,
Egyptian, Greek, Jewish thought.
all mixing together.
So those influences were bound to like seep into the writing.
Absolutely. You can't separate a text from its context.
And even the use of numerology, right?
Oh, yeah. Big time in both traditions.
Numbers weren't just numbers, they were symbols.
They had weight, spiritual significance.
Makes you appreciate those texts on a whole other level.
For sure.
So wow, I feel like we've just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, that's just a starting point.
But it's amazing to see those connections between Revelation and ancient Egyptian culture.
It gives you a fresh perspective.
It's like we've got this whole new lens to view it through.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder,
What are you wondering?
well, could other ancient cultures have influenced Revelation too?
Oh, good question.
We've focused on Egypt, but who knows what other connections are out there?
It's a reminder that these texts, they weren't written in isolation.
Right, they're products of their time and place.
And exploring those cultural links can really deepen our understanding.
Absolutely, it adds a whole new layer of complexity and richness.
Totally. All right, well, I don't know about you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm definitely seeing Revelation in a whole new light now.
That's what it's all about.
And for everyone listening, I hope you are too.
Keep exploring.
Yeah, keep those minds open and keep exploring.
There's always more to discover.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe you'll find some connections of your own.
Ooh, that's a great thought to end on.
Happy to spark some curiosity.
Mission accomplished.
All right, that was fun.
Until next time.
See you then.